Yeah, I would say most likely the thing here is like the fact that you can deny so many creeps to this Alk on the Enigma here, and then control your equilibrium. And Undying is one of these heroes that doesn't want to be spending the whole time, lane pulling and creep dragging, right? Like you want to be fighting these other heroes, and he doesn't actually win the fight in this lane. Like the Enigma Spirit Breaker will just kill the Undying. So I'm really curious as to how that lane's going to play out. I think the Enigma has a little bit of an edge, but like you said, the Alchemist, this is what when they like to pick it, and it might just be a comfort pick, something that Unknown, thinks that they have a really good shot at winning here.
Well, and we still have a lot of heroes in the pool. And again, PentAce, they don't have, or they do have last pick, so they will be able to clear the board. They will be able to see everything on the table coming in from Unknown. We could be seeing what Fear. I mean, I don't think you want Fear on this Monkey King. I think you want Rioya to be playing this mid, but Unknown, if they've sent the Invoker mid, I feel like it's got to be a Robo Z Invoker. I think Void Spirit is still in the pool as well. They could deep for that, but they're taking out all of Rioya's comfort picks if they do want to flex that hero onto Fear. But we still got the PL, we still got the Wraith King, we still got the Weaver, we still have the Jug. We've got so many safe laners in this pool that Fear could delve into that I don't think they're out of this at all. And the Enigma pick, I mean, it's a strong Enigma game versus the Tide, versus the
Yeah,
Undying.
they banned the
It
Invoker.
feels strong. They ban it out. Interesting.
Yeah, I
What
feel
are they
like
gonna pick?
that is part of the genius behind PentAce draft, right? Is that this Monkey King, obviously it's fantastic against the Tide, but you don't have to lane it there. And you have a lot of options going in with your final pick. Obviously, they do have the very last pick, so Unknown will have to make the decision. Ban the Lesh, Puck, Storm, Invoker. All core heroes from the mid lane. And, I mean, it really depends. Like, do you want to try and force Monkey mid, or do you want to force him to or rather, do you want to force him to the safe lane? Like, do you want to guarantee that he's going to have such a bad matchup mid that he has to go to the safe lane? Or are you going to give Monkey the chance of playing mid and then allowing Fear to have last pick here?
When we really won't know until they counter. I mean, both teams are very dead set. We know that Unknown need a Robo Z hero. They need something. And I'm looking for heroes that he's played in the past. It's really, we've seen him play Zeus once. I don't think that we're going to see that in this game. We can't see the Ember Spirit. We could see him delve into the Void Spirit, but again, or no, it's banned out first phase. What am I thinking?
Mm-hmm.
And until we see that hero, we really don't know. PentAce have all the flexibility in this draft, and that's that benefit of having that last pick, but none of the classic Robo Z heroes are left in the pool.
We'll see what they decide to go with. I think overall, you need an active mid laner, someone who can roam with this like Tidehunter, Undying Mirana. Someone that would set up for the Mirana would be better. I mean, Kunkka is actually one of the best heroes that they could pick, but it's so bad against the Monkey King mid, despite it actually being fairly successful last game. But maybe you go.
Well, it's a lot rougher this time around with the SB. The SB is going to be that ever-present hero on
You
the
could
map.
go Ember here. Ember Spirit's actually not that bad. Whoa.
Okay.
Are we running a core Mirana then? Are we running a mid lane Mirana here and an 4-position Rubik? I mean, we've seen certain people actually pick the core Mirana, so I'm wondering if that's the play.
Well, that's another. It's a Sumail classic with the shard. He's really the only one who was doing it before. And it shifts everything down, right? Because now Wish is going to be on that Rubik. It can't be a mid Rubik. They can't pick mid Rubik without seeing the other matchup. I don't think this is a strong enough Rubik game otherwise. But that is defying expectations. I mean, they needed lockdown. They needed a secondary source where they just have these constant fight abilities, but they're not really able to make use of them. So I like the Rubik a lot, but okay. You countered the Enigma a little bit, but it still feels like this Enigma is going to be a struggle. And Shadow Fiend, oh boy.
That's a great pick. That is a very good pick. Because now, no matter what they do, I mean, they're gonna run it mid Rubik, unless they want to do something really fun and go like safe lane Rubik and get real spicy. Now, yeah, it's got to be mid Rubik here. The safe lane Alk into the Shadow Fiend. Now the question is, can you slow down Rioya enough on this Rubik? Because he is going to have a lot of momentum going into the mid game.
Well, and it's a matchup that, albeit isn't the worst for Rubik, you do have those guaranteed steals, but in a good Rubik game, you see these spells that you can consistently, you see the Astrals, you see the Fissures, you see these spells that are so easy, it's plug and play. You steal it, you make a move. It's not easy this game. You don't have spells that you actively want to steal. What, you're going to steal Charge, you're going to steal Raise, and you're going to steal Black Hole. I don't think it's a good enough Rubik game where you're going to be able to put a mid and really find that easy success. Laning up versus SF, it will be a little bit of a struggle, I think. You do have the damage over him by quite a lot, I think, especially once the Fade Bolts start coming out. But Rio's just going to be able to jungle. He's going to be able to move into that lane and really ignore everything. And Burna is going to be delayed. It's going to be a relatively free farm out just because you can't really put a ton of pressure onto him with the Undying babysitting him. But one creep every single wave, you're not going to be able to really move it away. I'm really in the PentAce camp, I think, for this draft. It feels like they have the more normal draft. They've got a very strong foundation.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just really like this. Overall, I think the Shadow Fiend, Monkey King, Enigma all should have a pretty good time in lane, and they're going to hit this momentum that I think the Alk is going to really struggle with.
And almost swapping, or not even swapping, it was the same time or the same mindset in the previous game where you need to win so many fights now if you're PentAce. You need to win consistently versus Unknown. If Unknown ever get a little bit too much of a lead off of a team fight, off of pick-off, then they can start spiraling. Then they can start snowballing. And that's why this Alchemist is such a scary hero where you give him an inch, he gets a mile, and then he starts running over you, absolutely. But they just have such strong heroes. I mean, literally, the Abaddon, the Spirit Breaker, they're just very, very strong. And once it comes down to it, I don't know if the Ravage is something you can rely on, because Moo, you're going to be able to save that one person in a Photic Shield. You're always going to be able to get somebody out of the pits. And Snaking, we've seen him been able to put out on this Enigma consistently, where even in the situations where he gets his Tide sniped, he picks up the Enigma and he's always able to find these 2-3-man black holes that turn the tides at the moment you never expect. He's also very active. He's made a lot of rotations to the mid lane. He's able to get these towers really rolling. But I feel like it's going to be an uphill battle for Unknown, but
yeah, I mean, I think you're right. There's not much else that I can really think about this. You know, you're gonna have Ryoya on one of his most comfortable heroes in the mid lane. You have a really favorable matchup bottom lane, the Monkey King into the Tidehunter. Yes, you have the Mirana, so like Gush Arrow is quite good, but you have the Abaddon. So like this like hard counter that you normally rely on against the Monkey King just isn't going to be there. So I don't know what you do to deal with this.
And that's what makes this Abaddon pick such a beautiful answer versus the SA teams. And I mean, we've seen time and time again PentAce 1-1ing these SA teams, so we'll see if history decides to repeat itself. But this bottom lane is going to be very successful for PentAce, and I feel like Unknown, if they're not able to get momentum with this Tidehunter, they're not able to make plays. At least Prada is on a more active hero. Hopefully he's going to get a little bit more love, get a little bit more XP than the previous game, but I'm very heavily dead set that PentAce are going to be able to pull out at least ahead in the lanes here. We'll see if they're able to translate it to a win.
Yeah. We will indeed. I just look at this game and, you know, the one thing that you're saying, like they have 1-1 to a lot of these teams. There's not going to be an option for that this time, right? Like this does go to 3 games no matter what. And someone's got to be eliminated at the end of the day, right? Like one of these teams will advance, one of these teams is gonna go home. Like that's gonna be the end of their tournament run, and we'll see what happens. Z-Freak on the Spirit Breaker, going those boots first. I wonder if he's gonna body block. No, he's just gonna try and hit the raised creep to push the. Wait, what? What is he doing here?
He's buttering him up. This is interesting.
I actually really confuses me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a 4 do that, but Z-Freak's a master. We'll see if the range creep then gets denied, which would be a little bit funny, but no, Snake's got it. But this is going to be a little bit difficult. If Z-Freak can keep this lane blocked up, keep Prada just running at the Eidolons, Enigma's, it's just an auto lane winning hero where Prada, no matter what he does, no matter what he tries, Enigma will still be Enigma. He's still going to take your range creeps. He's still going to be incredibly annoying. And Z-Freak's already got the wave, but bottom.
Yeah, I'd say a bad and falling very low. Widge, not going to get the first blood. Salve under the tower, so he will be fine. But yeah, that's the gush damage, right? It's a lot that comes out, plus the arrow. If you go for the bad, and technically there is no save, right? That's one of the things that makes that kind of okay. He did go boundless strike level 1. Yeah, so they can guarantee round range creeps.
And if they can keep this bot lane going for him, even level 2, the Monkey King still needs to be quite careful just because of Jingu. You're not able to heal off that creep wave. You're not able to get the turnaround quite as easily. But
he's got it now. Sacred's in trouble.
Yeah.
He has to run the Orb of Venom. Boy. He gets that Curse of Avernus as well. If this procs, this might be first blood going the way Fear. They're trying to body block on Widge, but they do not want to dive the tower. And they will do a lot of damage on over to Sacred. He will salve.
When we'll see if he decides to get a point up in Kraken Shell, we usually see Tides just completely skip it because you just don't have enough skill points to really get aggressive in your lane at the same time. But this is one of those few lanes where you do need to be a little bit careful. But Fear stepped a little bit too far forward.
Oh, nice dodge on the arrow.
Oh, nice dodge. It's just that easy.
It is just that easy. Be good at the game. It's amazing. Mid lane. In favor of Rubik just slightly, not by a whole lot, but he's pretty happy with how it's going, I'd imagine.
On pre-level 3, there isn't much that Rubik can do. He is almost level 4 now, but that's second level in Shadow Rays just means that he's actually able to blast it. As when he gets Fade Bolted, he's sitting at, what, almost 30, 40 damage deficit, but
oh my gosh.
It will really come down to the runes, I think, where Rioya, we see so many times on these swinging mid laners where if you're able to get these runes, you get those bottle recharges, you can make those rotations you wouldn't otherwise be able to make, and he's so comfortable on this SF as well. This is like, what, Quap, Storm Spirit, Shadow Fiend, those are his specialties.
OD is one of his absolute best as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I actually have a very unpopular opinion about power runes, but I'm sure we'll get a lot of very angry viewers if I bring those up.
Oh boy.
Top lane. We're gonna go. Yeah, that should be first blood going the way, and Snake King grabs it. Malefice plus the constant bashes from Z-Freak. I mean, Undying just got a little bit low when he was trading earlier with the Spirit Breaker.
And so it's ticking out. It's the ticking out from Decay, right? Where you lose one stack and suddenly you're down 120 HP and then, well, you're just gone. And this is not a hero. If anything, the Spirit Breaker is the one hero you don't want to snowball because it's so easy. These rotations mid, and you see whenever oh, he got bashed. Well, but these 4-minute runes are coming up.
Yeah, he's just playing for the 4-minute. He wants to make sure that they get this. Ends up being a haste rune top. I mean, the fact that it doesn't go to Rubik is the big thing. He might... Fairy Fire will save RoboZ. He pops Salve Bottle, but Rioya has done a fantastic job of getting these raise stacks. I saw at level 1, he had 4 stacks of Shadow Rays on the Rubik, to give you an idea of just how well he has done at stacking these raises.
Well, and you'll see the issue with this matchup, while it is bearable for RoboZ, is that once Rioya gets these levels, then he's going to start having to put a lot of his money that he's getting from these creeps into regen, where as Rioya, he's very simply just going to keep on buying mana, going to keep on pushing out these waves, and clarities are a lot more efficient than salves, and there's really no way for RoboZ to get his health back aside from these 5-minute runes, and we'll probably see both mid laners veer off whenever that comes, but Rioya's just going to be able to force in these waves, and there's not really much that RoboZ can do about it.
Exactly. That's one of the benefits of the Shadow Fiend, right? You push so much faster, he immediately bolts out for the rune, and meanwhile, Moo is going to force Widge to grab it.
Oh, whoa.
So,
Widge.
Yeah, this is a huge kill. Not only does he get the kill, but he prevents RoboZ from getting the bottle. And as a result, you know, RoboZ has to wait for the Mirana to TP back mid and refill it.
He just got so greedy. He has 3 leaps as well, and because he has to make this rotation, you're giving the Soul XP to Fear, and this is when you're going to start the Monkey King versus Tide matchup is just starting, and not having that second point in Gush, he went for the Kraken Shell, like I said, and it feels like he can be so much less aggressive now on this Monkey, and with Phase Boots coming out, this lane's going to continue to get worse for Sacred.
Yeah, absolutely. Fear just, he did get boots at least, but yeah, I mean, with Moo rotating on over, they might be able to help get this kill. He needs that curse of Avernus proc. Boundless Strike is available. Moo actually can't get in range, so Sacred will be able to walk it out.
You're just keeping him off of the wave, though. He's going to lose out on a lot of XP now in mid.
They're charging Mirana. She's trying to get over for that. Wait, he doesn't go over the deny. All right. Oh, we have stolen Shadow Rays. Yeah, you don't want to. Which one is it, though, is the question.
I believe that is the. I think that's the mid raise. Is it max? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's the max raise. Oh well, maybe. I don't know. It might be mid raise with extra range. I actually have no idea.
Oh, with the arcane supremacy.
Yeah.
You usually just go off the icon, but it's very close, especially with the SF having the Arcana. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has the Arcana, so I can't tell. I don't play. I've only played him with the Arcana over the last like year, so I don't remember either. Humble brag, thank you. Bottom lane, Sacred. Nice arrow again from Widge. Keeping the boy alive. You'll just bound this strike to get those Jingu stacks.
And he's just zoned so far away from the creep wave. They're making this play while the creep wave is under the tower for Fear. He's really just fearless, if anything. He's not scared at all. And they're trying to play up on Moo, but now that he's level 4, I mean, we see the 2k gold lead at 7 minutes. It feels like they're really pulling away.
They do get a lot of stacks off in the jungle. I'm not sure if you see the Alk right now. He's clearing up a quad stack, gets level 6.
Oh, I see.
And picks up a Possessed Mask. So you are quite happy right here. And the Alchemist, I believe the Twitch meme is Monka S upward pointing, or point right upward pointing graph. Something along those lines. I don't know.
And Prada's done a fantastic job. He's going to take the lane now. He's going to be able to get a little bit of XP. If anything, just try to keep things off the tower. At the same time, Z-Freak, he's not on a hero that's able to punish the Alka nearly as much as a Clockwork, but this huge stack.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he gets a Fairy's Trinket. All right. You know, sometimes it's just just too easy. Top lane, they take down the Undying. Black Hole is available if he wants to try and turn around with this, but this Tombstone, they got to deal with it. Too much damage there coming in from the Alchemist and the Acid Spray. They trade 1 for 1. They force Robo-Z to top lane, but overall, I think you're pretty happy with that if you're unknown.
When if anything, we'll probably see it whenever it picks up the Yule Scepter, but they haven't been able to get vision into Unknown's jungle, and that's where really it could be making those rotations to maybe try and take away some of these stacks, because Berna he's getting a lot of speed. Even though he's losing out on those range creeps off cooldown, there's nothing he can do versus the Enigma. He's had these opportunities where Prada is just able to stack for him and continue to increase his farm, and he's very happy. I keep on eyeing up this 4 stack, and
yeah, it's like you see this one too, right? Like, yeah. You're ready, man. You're itching if you're the Alchemist right now. And plus it's Mud Golem stack too, so it feels that much better.
They're not going to scout it with Moo's Ward. They could rotate him because bottom lane has just been such a wash now for Fear, but if they're able to defend this with the Rubik, with Prada, I mean, now he wasn't able to get another stack, but Berna is farming quick.
I like this. Good ward here placed to scout that one, but again, yeah, they don't see the other stacks like you were pointing out. That quad stack still there on the medium camp. Black Hole top lane immediately onto the Tidehunter, plus the charge from Z-Freak. That is a dead Tidehunter. All right.
Cast upon the tide.
Necro 1 plus the 6 Eidolons. That'll do it.
I'm incredibly surprised that he made that rotation. He was really suffering bottom lane. They have the wards to make it really difficult for him to ever walk up, but you're TPing from one counter lane to another counter lane. You come top and Snaking's immediately there with the punish. Rubik wasn't in a position to counter it at all, and now they're doing a little bit of laning shenanigans, and if anything, we're back in the Burner camp. This is Burna's game to carry, but they're really getting a lot out of these lanes on PentAce, and I mean, it's hovering between a 2 to 3k gold lead right now, and it's really just up to Berna to pull it back. But Battle Fury is almost online. This is a very, very farmed out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everywhere I look, there's just more and more stacks, and you got to be pretty dang happy. You are very farmed on Ryoya's Shadow Fiend, though. You know, given the circumstances, you know, he has a Yule's Scepter finished at 10 minutes with this bottle and boots. So, I mean, this is hitting that 5k net worth mark at the 10-minute mark is pretty huge. Sacred hiding in the tree, but scouted by Fear.
Oh, do they?
No, they don't see him quite yet.
Trees down here, but
so he knows that the Monkey King is there because of the way the creeps aggroed, right? They wouldn't have had vision otherwise. So he knows the Monkey King is there somehow.
Well, the only unfortunate thing is, you take a look at the map, and your top lane is just completely pushed by Snake King. Somebody's going to come up here and farm it, and they're playing almost all 3 lanes right now. And as soon as the pressure's gone, they're going to see Sacred's alone, and they're just going to run at him.
Yep, you are correct, sir. They're just trying to force the Ravage, I believe. He does have that Kraken Shell. Do they have any detection? They drop a sentry immediately. Bound the strike on the mark. Charge in from Moo. I'm sorry, from Z-Freak. So used to it just being Moo on the big cow.
Oh, RoboZ.
RoboZ with the charge. Rubik trying to pick off Moo here. And it looks like they should be able to. A lot of damage coming in, plus the slows there from that Tombstone. Z-Freak, charge is available. He's got to get close enough.
Oh, he knows they don't have lift. I'm surprised he's staying. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was thinking he was just gonna charge the through the Rubik so he didn't get the counter charge, but ends up going down.
Well, we'll see if they decide to push bot. It's a little bit risky as they're just gonna flood TPs here. RoboZ steps a little bit too far forward.
This would be a huge kill if they can get it. He gets the charge on over to the Abaddon to bound the strike on the mark. Curse and Burn is going to start slowing him down. Telekinesis to push him back. Can they get the 3rd attack? That's what you need. Royoya coming in. Just going to go for the Requiem instead. And we'll take down the Undying. He steals 1 Shadow Raise, but
He seemed to die just fine.
It's unfortunate he misses out. That's what you want if you're RoboZ. That's the big spell, but he's just going to get dove? No.
Z-Freak? Uh-oh.
Whoa. It might just be
Widge?
Okay.
All right, he'll be fine.
And that's the issue with this Rubik a little bit, is just the Shadow Fiend. That was a weird dive. He took like 600 damage instantly there.
Yeah. One thing to note, though, like you pointed out earlier, you have this Enigma who just has been constantly pressuring
Necro
top
3.
tower.
Oh
Necro 3 is
he's
online at,
farmed.
yeah, I would say at just over 12.5 minutes. Like, this is a very farmed Enigma.
And they're looking for Burna.
And they're going to find him. Chemical
has a
Rage is
Sange,
almost
though.
expiring, too. They're going to be able to set up those triple raises, potentially. No, Sacred's coming around. He pops the Ravage. Arrow does connect onto the Spirit Breaker. Abaddon is level 6. He's going to go ahead, shield himself up, start running away. They turn it around. They get that first kill. Moo going for the TP, and he should be fine. No more stuns.
And that is an issue. They aren't very adept at dealing with the Tombstone. That is probably the big back call that they will constantly have to make, but RoboZ, he's playing very well. I didn't expect the charge to be as effective as it was bottom, but if he's able to get the Eidolons, if he's able to get a lot of stuff to increase his own game, then maybe you can make this mid Rubik work. I'm still very skeptical because at the same time, the Shadow Fiend is just farming the board. He almost has a blink dagger, and then you have to be so scared if you're ever alone in these side lanes. If you're the Rubik, if you're the Mirana, then you're just gonna get popped.
Yeah, I think the big thing is if you see Rubik on the map, Roya has free game to kill whoever he wants, right? If Rubik is not there, he can kill anyone in this game. There's really nothing that anyone can do about it, the Alchemist included. But if Rubik stays off the map and is able to stay near Burna, then you might feel a little bit safer. Oh, he has demonic conversion on Rubik. That is nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. He's going to be able to farm up a little bit, accelerate, but
all right, they
at the
take
same
tier
time,
1
the big
mid.
question for me is this Tide. Where do you get this Tide back into the game? He's got his Blink Dagger queued up, and he will be able to farm it eventually, but there's really nowhere for him.
There's
you
no
can't
game.
lane versus you can't lane versus the side laners. Alk is farming everything else. You don't want to grief him, and you want to try and kill this monkey as much as possible, but they're gonna respond in stride. If anything, I think PentAce just continue. Yeah, they're gonna fight.
Moonlight Shadow comes out. They drop a Tombstone. Roya now knows he needs to run real
he needs to be careful if
fast.
he gets lifted.
All right, able to get away, but Monkey King's still here, sitting in the trees. They have vision, right? This sentry on the backside is giving them everything they need. They saw them back away. They're fine.
They're just gonna have to back.
Moonlight Shadow, Tombstone down. They get the last hit there on Moo, and they're gonna chase through. Maybe no, just secure the rune instead.
It's a massive rotation, but even one that the Alchemist sort of had to show up to. He's not too bothered just because the triangle is right here, but it's very scary. You need to make plays to get your 3-4-5 back into the game on unknown, but Burna just wants to farm. He wants to get his BKB, he wants to get his heart. Or yeah, not even gonna get a BKB, he just wants to get the heart, be incredibly tanky, and the heart Sange that we see so consistently, the heart Sange in Yasha, where he just has 200 health regen.
Bottom lane, they go with the Ravage, set that up right with the Unstable Concoction, able to dodge out some of it, but with RoboZ here, no chance. No chance. Actually, he has borrowed time. He actually did have a chance.
And they just didn't respect him. They didn't respect the boots of travel in. That was just a perfect setup kill, but PentAce are just taking the map. They're just flooding in on the enemy's jungle.
Top lane Z-Freak might be in trouble as well. I mean, you do not do the damage here against the Mirana. And there's going to be an arrow. He has charge in a couple of seconds. Snake King rotating in as well. Be able to drop that Midnight Pulse, and now Undying. Trapped, not worried where you want to be.
And really got a freebie mid.
Oh, stolen Requiem. Robo Z. He's also got an Arcane Rune. Uh-oh. Ryoya might be in trouble here. Blinking one. He gets it off just barely. What a fog on the tree. They have the charge coming through as well. They're going to be able to continue the chase here. Robo Z now the one in trouble. Nether Strike, Boundless Strike, and a raise. That kill streak going on over to Ryoya's Shadow Fiend.
And getting the kill on the Tide just before any of that. And it was just the Rubik. He was one step behind Ryoya. He wasn't able to save the Tide at all. And this Tide is just going to be preyed upon by this SF. And once he gets BKB, then you don't have that response. Even if the Rubik is hiding in the trees. Oh, top.
Yeah, they got it. Wukong's command is out. Mu is here. They got all of them. Oh, and that's the thing. Rubik is the only save here. A beautiful heads-up play there from PentAce. Enigma just walks in.
Prada. Gone.
Yeah, Prada tries to go onto the Shadow Fiend, but again, there's no follow-up. And now they're going to go for the Tombstone. Sphere can just take it down if he wants. They're going to give it to Snake King, I guess. Yeah.
And it's so difficult now where these are the important kills that you can't give away where and this is exactly what PentAce need to do though. They need to keep killing him. If they ever give up any ground to Unknown, it's going to be so much more difficult. But you even see with Burna dead, Sacred's finally able to get a little bit of love in the jungle, but it's really this next Ravage. If they make a lot happen with this next Ravage, then maybe this mid tower falls, then you get a little bit of traction back on the map, but it feels like PentAce, the rotations are so clean.
Might be
gone.
Might be dead here. I don't know. Over under there. What do you think?
Very dead.
Okay.
Incredibly dead.
Yeah. Okay. That's what it looks like. So this is the thing. Like they can completely control the dire jungle. Snake King can stay up here forever. Fear just trying to it's like just trying to spot out Widge. He gets the leap off. Now goes back down to the south. They will find him eventually thanks to this Night Rune, but there's going to be your Requiem on the backside. It finds Sacred. He takes an arrow, but another strike finds the kill, and Widge, you know, he's going to come down and do another race.
They're just playing around with their food at this point. I mean, this is a four-man dive. They used, they didn't even have Black Hole. That's just them diving, and if anything, it's a testament. They have the vision advantage, and we saw how 50-50 it was in that previous game with the Clockwork, with the Beastmaster. But the Spirit Breaker just gives them all of the knowledge to just go wherever they want. And you're right, whenever any hero shows, PentAce are just completely confident in taking the fight and just running at people.
Yeah, look at bottom. Robo Z showing on the map. The charges come out immediately. Fear is here. I don't know how you escape.
He's gone. No, there's no escape. He has to make a big decision here.
Boundless Strike, perfectly timed by Fear, making sure to break that Blink Dagger. Nether Strike not available. He steals Boundless Strike. An arrow will connect. Blink is available soon. The soul release. All right. He will be fine on Robo Z, but I mean, they forced 2 extra TPs to the bottom lane. Fear just was going to come down here to farm anyway.
It just feels like all of the pressure is on Unknown. They need to get something going. I think they have the Blink Dagger on Sacred, but at the same time, Z-Freak's just making so much space. He's making so much time around the map, and Snake King, once he gets this BKB, then it flips, then the script flips, then it's back again where if Ryoya is able to make RoboZ's life hard and RoboZ isn't getting a BKB, these team fights just continue to get difficult.
Boundless
Strike. Got a freebie on Z-Freak.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Bulldoze. He's running pretty far, but there's a lot of CC. He gets the charge out, the man. Absolute mad lad, but now Snake King, he's going to be the one who ends up falling instead.
And this is their timing. Hard on Alk. They're very strong, 20 minutes in, but again, PentAce just need to navigate around this, and I feel like, I mean, Fear on Scotty, or Fear going for the Scotty next, and they're just immediately smoking up with the BKB on Ryoya. They're just making so many plays on PentAce at all times.
They think they're in Roche is what's going on here. Instead, they're just going to find Robo Z, BKB, the Requiem, not happening. They take him down, and they're going to keep looking. Fear. He's quite mobile on the Monkey King. They have the Tidehunter here. He's TPing out. Will they get the charge? They get the Boundless Strike just barely. Oh my goodness, Fear. right on the edge, securing another kill. The vision being provided from that charge, of course.
You force 3 TPs or 3 heroes to TP back. You get 2 kills of your own. You don't really use anything. You're just farming while you're killing. You lost Snaking before, which is unfortunate. But again, he already has a Blink Dagger. He has a Necro 3. Once he gets BKB, there's nothing. You have to be worried about
that
the
is the
Rubik.
only counsel. Burna. They're trying to just force spells, I think, here. They don't really care all that much, because if they get the Ravage or something, Snaking just feels free game to walk on in and go for a Black Hole play.
Okay, Burna's got the Basher. He's going for the Abyssal next. That's exactly what he needs to start making some of these plays, because, again, you haven't been able to do anything with this Tidehunter. It feels like he's done so little in this game just because of the way things are shaping up. Again, it's all Burna. At this point, it's all Burna.
Yeah, Tidehunter does not feel like a core in this game. The Blink Dagger is really all that you've got. It's in the form of reinitiation. Top lane, once again, beautiful setup from the ranged Boundless Strike. Z-Freak has the Nether Strike shard already, giving him that
so good
4-second break and the spell immunity. It's amazing. It's so good.
And now the Tide, that's your combo. You
yeah, say what
Nether
does Tide do now?
into the Requiem, and he's gone. That's like the most niche counter pick I think I've ever seen ever. I mean, it's gonna work too.
Oh, you don't even need it. There's the BKB Requiem instead. Sacred, he actually misses the combo a little bit, but the triple raise to follow, and Ryoya will finish off Sacred once again. And that's the thing. This Blink BKB, well, there is no counter to that one, and that's the thing. Like, he can, every time he sees a hero, he will go for the play.
And it just feels like the unknown heroes are just dying. It's a pile of bodies for Burna to stand upon. As once he gets this Abyssal Blade, maybe he's able to find these backlines. He's able to find these heroes. But again, PentAce, they have these kiting tools. We haven't even seen Mu do anything yet, where he's able to save people with the Photic Shield, where he's able to really make these fights take way longer than they should. And they're trying to make a play on the mid tower, but maybe they get it for free, but at the same time, all your waves are in. They're immediately going for the split push. They don't want to fight into the Alk because they want to continue farming and getting these really crazy fast item timings.
Yeah, I think they're just really waiting on Snake King's BKB. I think that's the timing where they're just like, okay, we can actually 5-man them, no problem. It's one of those things where you don't want to like blow Black Hole right before you get this BKB timing, and then just not have any way, like any effective way of using the BKB for the next couple of minutes as well.
And we haven't seen Unknown. They have the tools. They have the Blink Dagger on RoboZ. They have the Yule setup with the Mirana arrow, but we haven't seen them able to make the clean pickoffs in the side lanes. It feels like whenever PentAce are slightly out of position, if you're soul pushing top, we see Snaking sitting in the bottom jungle. Unknown are just being rung around the map, and there's not much that they can do. They need to be as 5 to get things going for them, and this is good. They're forcing PentAce to fight them now.
Yeah, they are. Moonlight Shadow comes out, Abaddon. Try to scout with the current. They're going to run right into fear. The Yules comes out. He's in some trouble. The question is, can he escape? The telekinesis drops him right back into it. He doesn't get the Boundless Strike off in time to steal all that mana. They will find the kill potentially onto Prada as he's falling so low. 80 HP actually ends up surviving. The Abyssal Blade behind the tower. They're looking for Snaking. He's gone too. They get 2. They will buy back on the Mirana. Shadow Fiend just not here, ready to fight.
When these are the kills that I've been waiting for them to make. They didn't use anything either. They still have Ravage. It's still so hard for them to fight, and I'm not even sure. Oh, DD on Alk. Oh, well, this is dirty.
Rubik has Tree Dance, which is actually really strong as well. Like, they will not be able to see the Rubik here.
Okay, it's gone. I mean, Unknown, they're doing the Alk strat. They're getting a little bit of traction.
Yeah, you absolutely need to. Absolutely need to. Z-Freak trying to just charge through. See if you can find him. A Yules comes out. An Abyssal Blade as well. Not going to be able to get into the Roche Pit and snipe that Aegis. Ends up going to the way of RoboZ here on the Rubik.
And once Burna gets the Blink Dagger, then you actually need to be very scared if you're PentAce. Then you need to be scared, even though you have these BKBs. PentAce need to be careful if they let too many towers go. Again, Unknown, they need to win 1 or 2 fights, and then they're on top of the world. But PentAce need to win so many. They need to kill this out 2 or 3 times, and then still you've got this massive net worth wall. I mean, Burna's playing this perfectly.
About to hit level 20 as well.
Sacred.
Oh boy, fear. There's gonna be the Wukong's command. RoboZ jumps right on top of him. The question is, can they chase him down? He steals the Wukong's command himself, and now Fear in a real bad spot between everybody else. The Wukong's command, the Ravage, he gets the Boundless Strike off Snake King, walking in, trying to get a Black Hole. There's the Blink, the Black Hole, he gets Robo-Z and Burna. It's a perfect combination. He gets the Aegis Burna, now nothing left in the tank besides that Heart of Tarask. He goes, a 4-man stun? Burna?
There's no way.
No, he's out. Is he out? The stolen Black Hole? No, Fear able to dodge it, just barely. Burna will end up falling. He'll Boundless Strike to turn it around. Yule saving the Shadow Fiend, and it's going to be an absolute disaster as they wipe everyone on Unknown here. Widge trying to do what he can. The third raise is going to find him.
And again, that fight started off so bad for Unknown, where you accidentally walk on top of the Monkey King. You aren't able to burst him in time. You just don't have the levels. I think that was a level 2 Ravage, but you just don't have the damage to put into anyone. It's all Burna, and he didn't have Chem Rage. He was a few seconds out, so he took so much damage. He had to regen up, and again, really instantly kills Prada. You don't have a Tombstone down in that fight. You don't have your kiting potential, and they just did everything perfectly on PentAce. There's no two ways around it. Even with the stolen Black Hole, it came a little bit late, and Fear was able to navigate it, but they just didn't have any counterplay.
Yeah, and now your map shrinks more as Snake King able to continue pushing the map so aggressively with the help of Fear now, who is on his way to the Eye of Scotty. A fantastic pickup, in my opinion.
Oh, it's killer, especially versus the Alchemist.
BKB piercing healing reduction seems to be a pretty solid pickup, especially since he doesn't have any form of purge from the Spirit Vessel as well. That's already been picked up on the Spirit Breaker. He could pick up Berserk Potion or just go back for a BKB, but he's not itemizing for that. Like, he's got Blink going Swift Blink.
Well, and again, we saw it in the first time in that previous fight. Moog got to do something. He popped immediately. Ravage. It hit one person technically. It only hit Z-Freak, and he bulldozed that off. The Ravage, the Tide just feels so countered in this game where everyone doesn't really care about him. And his charge on burn is a little bit wild, but yeah, don't think that'll complete. But PentAce, if they're able to keep this Tide, or rather this Alchemist down, then they can really take the game at whatever pace they want. There's really no pressure, and with Aegis off the table, I feel like PentAce are just gonna slow it down to the pace they want and gonna keep this game in their grip.
They did pick up some great jungle items here for both teams, right? We see the Titan Sliver pick up the Alchemist. Yep. The Enigma got a Quickening Charm, and the Shadow Fiend still holding on to the Fairy's Trinket. I thought he might go for the Ceremonial Robe, but I guess they're just going to put that on the Abaddon. Overall, just a fantastic aura for his team as a whole.
When he's getting the Abyssal Blade on Ryoya, that's the counter, I suppose, even more locked down. And see if he gets the Arcane Blink after that, but I mean, there's nothing really I can do wrong in this game. He's already had a perfect game so far. He's just going to continue to keep moving forward. Only 1,000 gold away from his Abyssal Blade, and then he can Abyssal Blade Requiem someone.
Yeah, exactly. It allows you to use Yule's, you know, in a different way. It actually allows your BKB to be more effective since you're not, you know, waiting for the target to come down anymore.
Oh, bottom.
They're going to charge in. Oh, God, Z-Freak hitting 2 important picks off here. There's going to be the Nether Strike, but canceled out for a moment. But Ryoya, the BKB, the Requiem, the Alchemist falling low. There's going to be the Dust. Can they even... Yeah, he's just stuck inside the Midnight Pulse. He can't go anywhere. Sacred completely zoned out from the fight by Fear. An arrow will connect, but that is Bulldoze, so it's coming back here very soon. They're trying to just disengage, but Ryoya going to blink up super aggressively. The double raise. He's going to look for Sacred on the backside. There's going to be the Yules, and with Fear here, they should have more than enough damage. Z-Freak not done. Charge over to Widge. As Snake King able to set up another kill thanks to that Archer Purge. The question is, do they go for the Undying here? Absolutely. A godlike spree. 10-0 and 7 for the Shadow Fiend. He got the charge onto Rubik? Oh. No, he didn't. Did he?
No, he's going for the wave, but it's gonna sync up a little bit.
No, it did hit it was on the Rubik. Just a weird bug there. And you got Bulldoze on Rubik, but you got the Spirit Vessel already on top of him. He is going to try and just run away.
On his way.
Boundless Strike. He is going to blink into the base. He's going to be fine.
Well, and again, I don't know what Unknown, and this is the power of the vision of the Spirit Breaker, where it's so unfortunate. 2 heroes TP back. They don't even see him. They're just pushing out the wave. They're sitting underneath tier 4s, and then the other 3 get immediately jumped on by PentAce. It just feels like they're ahead of the curve right now. They're always able to get these crazy initiations where it's so simple. It feels so easy, but it continues to just be an unfortunate circumstance for Unknown, and haven't really been able to get anything going for him in the past few minutes.
Yep, there's the
Oh,
blink, the
come on.
Abyssal, the Requiem, send him home. Sacred killed once again, and you only steal the Raze. They pop everything. They're going to go in. The Abyssal Blade on the mark, but Z-Freak so dang tanky. You got to go for the Monkey King. Sacred, he's back in the game, caught for a moment. There's going to be this, they actually break the Tidehunter. He's got to get this Ravage off. He finally pops it, but Fear, can he keep himself alive with these Jingu stacks? It's not going to be enough. They trade 1 for 1. It's a dieback on the Tidehunter. Abaddon trying to run away. That borrowed time already committed. Snaking on the side. He's got a black hole. Can they get Berna? The Alchemist, that's the big kill. Telekinesis use. Snaking, he's going to go in. He's got the BKB available. The Abyssal Blade on over to the Mirana. A counter Abyssal Blade. Can Snaking find the black hole? He's 50 mana short for the time being. There's going to be a jump on over to the Rubik. Doesn't have the mana to play with. There's going to be a Yules holding him in place. Z-Freak finally going to fall here.
It was not enough, but...
And it was a little bit of an overextension from PentAce. If anything, Moo needs to be on top of the Monkey King at all times up until he gets a BKB or some way to cut out the Ravage. Getting a Satanic, I guess that is will be Fear's answer to that. But again, a little bit of too much. They didn't have Requiem either. They were really playing without their abilities. At the beginning of that fight, Snaking was even just in the bottom lane. He was nowhere near, but okay, he's got a Lincoln Sphere now. Well, Snaking gets to black hole wherever he wants.
Yep. Great pickup.
Oh,
Level
Berna.
20 as well, so he has the Eidolon damage. Yeah, Berna.
Oh, no.
He's going to eat a BKB black hole
Oh.
here. What? Is he? He didn't have mana. Oh my god. I was like, why did he do it? He was literally 10 mana short. The Requiem comes out as
He
well.
can steal it.
Berna, he's going to make
Wait.
it. They get the 2-man black hole on the side, and they're trying to keep the Enigma alive. A huge blunder
You're
from the side of
kidding me.
PentAce. Snaking falling incredibly low. Ryoya pops the BKB, trying to run. He has a regen rune in his pocket. He pops it.
Widge.
They're in range. They're able to cancel Fears here. Bound the strike. Wukong's command onto the whole backside, but Ryoya, he goes down. Fear trying to tank up as much as he can. Moo, can he keep Fear alive? Can he do all of it by himself? It's looking like he is this one-man army. That Chemical Rage has expired. The Tombstone's starting to add up. They get a beautiful
damn.
arrow, and now Monkey King goes down. They buy back on this Shadow Fiend. This is a disaster.
come
They're
on.
feeding so many kills. Z-Freak on the run. They lose the gem as well.
Swift Blink in 2. Oh.
Can Robo Z
Robo's got
catch
the
him?
blink.
Oh, he blinks
Oh, he
into
did
the
it.
stun.
Whoops. What a blunder from Snaking. I've never seen him do something like that. That's a first for me. Usually he's the most calm and calculated player, but again, maybe just not having as much mana as he thought. He just was 50 mana off again of the black hole, and he gets completely turned on. As Berna, he popped the Lincolns with Unstable or Abyssal, or
It was
I'm not
Abyssal,
even
yeah.
sure, but completely turned it around. That's insane. And now the shoe's on the other foot. We're now Unknown. You don't have buyback on Ryoya. You spent it. You got nothing for it. Everyone died, and Roche is respawning in a minute. And now Unknown, it feels like they're completely back in the game. If they're able to get another fight like that, then the script is flipped.
Now, Z-Freak does almost have an Aghanim Scepter, which is going to be a big pickup for him. Obviously, that Charge of Darkness, cooldown, and movement speed bonus is quite impactful.
Just makes Sacred Life even harder.
Yeah.
Harder for him to find an initiation.
Exactly. Widge bottom lane, gonna eat an Abyssal and a Requiem. Great play there from Ryoya, just waiting for someone to come defend the tower. He knows it's gonna happen, and he is out. No Mirana for 65 seconds means no Moonlight Shadow. They're gonna smoke mid lane. They got the black hole available once again. And the charge comes out. They're looking for Robo Z top.
This is a big pick, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Z-Freak
He's
needs to
got
stay on him for a
bulldoze.
while.
He might be able to stay on him. Oh, he pops the bulldoze. The smoke gets popped. He's going to get that telekinesis. There's going to be that Nether Strike right on the money. Question is, can the rest of the team get there in time? Z-Freak's like, all right, I guess not. I'm out.
Yeah, they're trying to cut off the heroes that would have been there to help him, but oh, Fear's in a scary spot.
Oh, they had vision too. That was so close.
Prado was almost going to break the tree with the tomb there. Oh,
All right, they know there's a ward there now.
yeah. Again, though, with Roche, everything's going to refocus there. That's going to be the full 5-man. Oh, did they not scout it out? They don't want to force it,
I
but
think they know
don't
it's
think
up,
they know.
but yeah, they don't want to like take this without reducing the vision. They've got, you know, this Necrobook might as well double check for wards. They did lose the gem in the last fight. Who has it now?
RoboZ.
Okay, RoboZ does have it.
Unknown can't. Okay, perfect. They smoke up before the Roche gets a little bit too low. And they need to be so careful. If anything, PentAce, they don't want to just give away anything here. As Unknown, if they're able to get the jump. I mean, we've seen this Tide countered time and time again, but if he can actually get these cores before the BKBs get off, then Mu has to choose who to save here. And it's most likely going to be Fear, but he's able to get the ring off. I don't know
go
if
for the
they're going to want to
wraparound.
be here.
Tombstone drops on the bottom side. Z-Freak ends up catching Widge just barely with that dust. You know, there's Ward Sentry there. No one in the pit.
This is unfortunate. They used Tomb already. That's their big tool.
Yeah.
It's on cooldown now for 60 seconds.
They get the Tomb and they get the Moonlight Shadow. There's just no vision on that side of the Roche pit. Like, they have this one ward here. They're going to walk right back in. Necrobook this time available.
No Hemorrhage. They're going to give it up.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Well, I mean, they may not give it up. They still have Blink Ravage, but they're just not sure how to get into this Roshan. Chemical, yeah. Acid Spray comes down. Sacred in a lot of trouble. There's the Nether Strike break. The charge to follow. Can they actually finish him off? The double dust. Sacred falling low, but Force-staffed up onto the high ground. It looks like PentAce doesn't want to chase any further.
It's good cover on Sacred. Otherwise, he would have just gone down there and then they would have ran wild. But yeah, Burner, they used everything. They really thought that the engagement would have come sooner. But again, they're shooting in the dark. They have nothing. They're really the only vision they can get is from arrow or from stolen spells. And at the same time, they want to just push. This is their timing. They're very strong right now. But
they're taking a. I mean, yeah, they have to respond to this. You're losing a tier 3. Burna, he has Chemical Rage. He's just going to go into the black hole. The BKB, they don't know about the Lincolns. And now your Alchemist just completely alone in the enemy base. No response. Nothing you can do to shut that down. And again, beautiful itemization there from the Enigma, preventing RoboZ from being able to cancel this. Speaking of RoboZ, Nether Strike on the money. He's holding it for now.
Photic Shield's a killer steal. If you can keep this one, but looks like it's going to time out.
He has the Ags now on Z-Freak as well, so this charge cooldown is incredibly low.
And we saw the Lincolns get immediately popped, but I'm not sure if they didn't respect it or if they thought that there was something they could do there, because he stole it immediately with the spell steal, but it just got blocked. And no BKB, there's no crazy turnaround for the Alchemist to do. He was just sitting there hitting it. He didn't even pop Chem Rage. He thought he was so safe.
Yeah. I think he just expected the save, right? He just expected like some form of a I mean, you could have just like Fade Bolt telekinesis, but maybe he just went immediately for the telekinesis and then had nothing left. Or no, he's BKB'd. Never mind. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You just like hope that you could spell steal and then go for a counter black hole, but RoboZ can't do it.
Well, I wonder if you can pull. You most likely can't pull your teammates out, but we do see Rubik's usually get the Ag Shard as that sort of secondary save, and it'd be fantastic in this game, especially just repositioning the Undying even, where you have these very immobile heroes. Even the Tidehunter, being able to pull him out whenever he gets broken, but
he didn't go the telekinesis range, though, is the thing. He went the Fade
he's got the
cooldown.
Wind Waker. Interesting. Well, that's the save.
That's the save, yeah.
He can walk out of it now.
Z-Freak top lane looking at Sacred. Arrow is going to connect. Widge has got to run. Ryoya is trying to find someone here, but Fear.
They don't see him.
Goes in. Abyssal Blade. They're going to be able to try and potentially lock him down. The Ravage as well. Shadow Fiend. He's got to get out. No. Gets a Eul's for the time being. Has BKB. Abyssal Blade on out. Blink
Ryoya
available. Ryoya's out. Mu by himself on the backside. They do see the Monkey King. He's got Aegis. They got the Satanic. He's got the Cheese. He's trying to get his second life available. Snake King waiting patiently on the side here with this black hole. Question is, can he find them? Snake King's ready. He pops the BKB. He gets caught for a moment. The black hole. He catches 2 right on the money. And Abyssal Blade backside finds the Rubik. A fantastic fight once again from PentAce as they turn it around. And it's going to be a 5-for-0.
And no buybacks. Nothing on the board. They died way too close to their base. This might be at least 2 sets. I'm not sure. This is really bad for Unknown.
That spell Prism on the Shadow Fiend actually paying so many dividends in that fight. Able to just come back in on this Shadow Fiend when he looked like he was completely dead.
And it's so unfortunate they weren't able to get Ryoya. And it's Moo. It's him staying there with his bud, keeping him alive the entire time. And then the immediate rego. Ryoya going in at 30% HP, keeping the Rubik out of the game. No BKBs, no really great answers, and they're gonna get glyphed up here. But if it's not 2 racks, it's a dominating position going into the remainder of the game. But I think this might just be it.
I think they're gonna try and end it. They know there's no buybacks. They would have bought back by now. And tier 4 is going to fall pretty quickly. You have the Eidolon damage, obviously, here from Snake King.
Yeah, I think that's it. There's nothing.
There's nothing you do. Objective Gaming, PentAce, off the back of some incredible team fights, able to hold this one out and finish this series 2-0 against Unknown.
When Unknown, they had the shot. They had those small instances where they were able to take fights off. Even, you could even call it misplays coming in from PentAce, where it felt like they didn't want to win a little bit. Some of those bad jumps they were getting, but it was so clean. If anything, just a standout performance from Ryoya, from Z-Freak, where they were able to get so much counterplay across the map. And Unknown, they found nothing. They weren't able to get any plays made with this Tidehunter, and you have to be so careful. PentAce just, maybe they pulled this one out of the bag, but it felt like this was the most inundated Tide I've ever seen, where he was just not able to make any plays. This was not a Tidehunter I think we've seen in BTS Pro Series. It felt like he had no plays, nothing he could do the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the hard truth about picking that Tide phase 1 and it just getting hard countered, right? You pick the Monkey King up, you're dealing with the Abaddon as well, like he just has no lane ever. And Ryoya on this mid lane Shadow Fiend just able to punish him the whole game. Kraken Shell doesn't really work when you get one-shotted, you know, like you're just gonna die. That's the way it works. Yeah, just incredible performance. I mean, Ryoya finished that game 15-1-12, just absolute monster. With 27,000 net worth. Like, he just played an incredible game. The last pick, Shadow Fiend, doing some seriously heavy lifting. And that's going to keep their tournament lives aligned. But unfortunately for Unknown, they're out. That's going to be it. That's it for them.
I mean, they pulled it. They tried it. They did the mid Rubik. Maybe this is a Robo-Z classic. They had everything. This was a very staple Unknown draft. You had the Prada Undying, Widge Mirana. It just felt like at every point, though, PentAce just had the ace up their sleeve, some would say.
Yeah, that's what it would sound like. Well, that being said, we've got another series coming up in a little bit. We'll be going to a short break here, but our next series of the day should be a very exciting one. We've got Ego Boys versus The Cut. 2 teams, both lives on the line. And honestly, both these teams have looked pretty dang good. The Cut specifically have really risen through the ranks in NA, in my opinion. And Ego Boys, a standout team from South America. I mean, they've been around for a while, barring some substitutions of players, but overall a very high skilled team. And they will be coming up next here on the BTS Pro Series 5. We'll see you all after just a short break. Stay tuned.